Hello, my beautiful friends. Julianne here of Julianne Annette Art. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. If you're new, I would love it if you consider subscribing. I'd love to have you stick around. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my plans for the month of March. I did not do a completed pages for February because I think I only completed 4 pages. There's a dog playing in the background, so if you hear the noise, it's just the dog rolling around on the carpet being cute. Anyway, so I'm gonna, like I said, I didn't do a February completed pages. I'll just do a February, March completed pages all together. I did end February with quite a few whips, so this is my list. These are the whips that I'm bringing forward. These are my new plans for March. It's hard for you guys to read because I use really light green, but that's okay. I'm going to set it aside. Sorry for knocking the camera. And I'm going to start with the whips. And I'm trying to put my water bottle accessible, but still hold my book open. Need a little book weight to hold it open. Anyway, let's see if that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. I just can't read it. Anyway, we're just gonna start with the whips. So, Romantic Country, the second tale. I tagged pages that I didn't do. I did tag my page though. Okay, take that one out. So this is all done with Neocolors, Neocolor tubes, and I mean, I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. I just need to go in with some shading and maybe even out some of these blues. I had colored it all at once with the Neocolors and then took quite a few days to activate them with water. So the blues in particular end up looking quite streaky. I'm looking at the camera. On the camera, the blues show much more blue, but in person, there's quite a bit more green blue to it. So, but yeah, like, I don't know if you guys can see here where the faint ones in particular, you can really see just like the lines of where I scribbled. So number one lesson learned is to, especially for small parts, to use a paintbrush directly to the Neocolor. And then number two lesson learned is don't let them sit, and to activate, like color a bit, activate it, color a bit more, and then activate it. But that's beside the point. It won't take much, so I'm gonna finish that. That is sooner on the agenda. I think all of my ones that are Neocolor 2s are probably earlier on the agenda. So speaking of that, we will get to Shooting Star by Maria Troll. Did I say Romantic Country 2 is by Erie, or the second tale? So the Maria Troll one, I decided to do both these at the same time as a double page spread, and again with the Neocolor 2s. And I'm really quite happy with how they've turned out. A little bit of patchiness for my little background splodges, so I'm gonna go over those a little bit more, and then I just want to darken up the leaves and give a little bit more depth and texture to them, and maybe a little something more to her to make her skin not look totally almost invisible, and kind of, you know, do her eyes. So just really some details and darkening up the shadows of the leaves, and hopefully touching up the background a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth. I think if I go in just with the brush on the Neocolor, it should help with that. So another one that's not very much to do. My next Neocolor 2 one is in Daydreams, which is now a project book with Jamie, who was formerly Jamie's Coloring Love and is now Finding Joy in Color. And so I did this background. I actually did it as a color in chat that was kind of a very personal one, and so I wasn't sure. I haven't decided if I'm going to publish it or not. kind of talking about like mental health stuff a little bit. Not like severe mental health, just the things we all go through kind of thing. But anyway, I do want to go over the background again, and then I have these as inspiration for how I wanted to do the bird. And I'm probably going to use colored pencil for the rest of it, like finish the background with the Neocolor 2s, but I think I'll do the rest in pencil. So this one will be a little bit more time consuming. Oh, Veronica Dunn is also joining us for this, but Veronica has completed quite a few pages in her book already. So she's just going to jump in when we're doing a page that she hasn't done, which this one is an example of one. Veronica has completed her page, but Jamie and I are both still working on ours. So next WIP I have is Erie's World Literature, which is a project book with Joe of Geordie Colors and Kate of Kate's Coloring Haven, and Veronica Dunn, and now Emily of eArt Studios has joined us as well. And so I have done this much on my Town Mouse and Country Mouse. It's all Inktense. I've only activated this stuff and the mice, but I'm loving how it is looking so far. And so I'd like to complete this, but then also February's page was the Vain Jackdaw, and then March's page is Narcissist. So we'll see how I prioritize it. I might even end up working on both of these pages at the same time, but I'm so close to finishing this and I'm really loving how it's looking. So I do really want to come back and work on this more as well. So that's Erie's World Literature. Next one is a buddy color with Amy of Amy Ward Art. And I think she showed me her page and basically said like she might be done. She might decide she just wants to add a little bit more glitter or something. And so we're doing this page in the Dungeon Meister Goblin Quest coloring book, illustrated by Zachary Bacchus. And so this is all Prismacolors, and it's just because there's just so many parts, it's kind of taking me a while, and I'm just doing it in little bits and bobs. And so it's probably going to take me a little while longer. I think at this rate, I'll be lucky if I finish it by end of March, but hopefully I will. I want to like darken the table. I want it to have a really, I wanted it to have a like gas lighting, candle lighting kind of medieval look. And then in the description here, it does say that they end up at a, well, I thought it said here that it was like a candle or a gaslit tavern, but it just says that the Rousing Company of Farmers and Fishermen at the Pig and Whistle Tavern. So it doesn't necessarily say that it is. I thought it said so. But anyway, that's beside the point. I want it to have a dark medieval look. Also, page is starting to split. So that is Goblin Quest. Next one, this I had base. I can zoom you in a little bit. Sorry, no, okay. I have the background basically just with soft chalk pastels, and I'm liking the general look of it. I think it is just a little bit patchy in parts, particularly over here where the blue and the purple meet, but I might stay with that and maybe use some colored pencil to make a little bit of cloud or something. We'll see. I'll see how I feel. And then I'm going to use colored pencil on the bird itself. So since it's winter season, I would definitely like to finish it up. I don't want to leave it till next year. So I'm going to finish that up and again with Prismacolors. And no, not the last WIP. I think there's another Yeah, okay. I was almost going to say it's the last whip, but it's not. Yeah, The Lovers in Beauty of Horror Tarot by Alan Robert, and I had started this Lovers page. This is Project Book with Jenna the Fiction Kitten on Instagram, and a few other people have joined us as well. So I think Juliet Colors and Liz, who is Lizbeth 47, I think it is, on Instagram. And I want to say somebody else has joined the group, but I can't remember who at this point. And so we were doing this page for February, which I kind of, once I did the angel wings, something just felt off. I also was doing it in dark lighting in bed, and it was looking kind of funny. So, but I was kind of okay with the looking patchy on the skeleton, but I didn't like how the wings were looking. So I'm going to give it another go. I'll finish it up this month. And then for the March page is the Four of Cups, which is a cool looking page. And I really like using super tips in this. Well, alcohol marker and super tips. This one was the dual tip, these light colors. The dual tip, they're Ohuhu, with just like a brush tip and then the little 4mm tip or whatever. I have tape stuck on me. And they're not quite as nice. I find super tips give a cleaner look than, yeah, like this branch is super tips, but I find super tips are cleaner and less streaky than those other Ohuhu ones that I have. So anyway, there's that one. Next whip is, this has so many tags. This one here, which was kind of a loose buddy color with Jenna, the Fiction Kitten, again. And so I have based this much with alcohol marker. I totally have a vision for how I want to do it, but obviously I haven't gotten to it yet. So I'm going to base all of the bricks and most of it with marker, but the dragon, I think, it needs to be in just colored pencil. I might be able to base it a little bit with some ink tints, actually. That might work. I have a vision for like an iridescent kind of. I'm hoping that I can achieve the iridescent look that I want. So yeah, I think if I was to base it, I would go with ink tints. So that's that one. And then there's also one of these pages. I had tagged them all for the mythographic scavenger hunt. And so they're all tagged, sorry. I had tagged all of the snake pages with the green tabs. So this one here, the Medusa page, the Fiction Kitten and Candace of Happy Catastrophe and myself are going to do it as a buddy color. I believe that's still the plan. So that's another one. Next is Symphony of Cute Animals. I was hoping to, this is like a year-long page. That is a group. I'll zoom you back out here. A group started by Lizbeth 47 on Instagram, and there's a few of us in there. I can't remember who's all in there. I think Candace, Happy Catastrophe, and Kate of Kate's Coloring Haven. I think they're both in there. And it's just like work a little bit each month in the book until you're done at the end of December. And so I had based this much in January, but I didn't get to touch it at all in February. So I would like to try to finish the basing in March. And I'm just using Tombow markers to base. So I think that shouldn't be too difficult. And so that is it for the whips. Well, it's, I mean, yes and no. It's kind of it for the whips. This one in Secret Garden. Oh, did I say the other one, of course, is Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Igusa. So, Joanna Basford's Secret Garden, which is a project book with Emily and Jenna. And this page I have shown you guys 100 times. I am determined to get it done in March. And I think I've finally figured out how I'm going to color it. But let me tell you, I have gone back and forth over and over with it, as you guys know. Because we're basically choosing a color palette and working through the whole book with it. So once I commit to the color palette, I feel like I'm kind of stuck with it. So I finally do have a plan for it, though. So I'm going to just do it, just go with it. And it is... it's like a commitment issue about choosing a color palette and then sticking with it for the whole book. So I do want to make sure, I've wanted to make sure that it was a color palette I'd be happy to stick with. And basically I have two color palettes in my mind, and one of them uses the gold and kind of copper from the cover, and it would be a very fall looking one, and I think it would look really beautiful. But then the other one has like kind of fuchsia and turquoise in it, and it's like a very fantasy glowy type theme, and I think that would look really beautiful as well. But I think my heart is still with the gold and copper, so I think that's what I'm going with. I'll make it work in here and we'll see what comes of it. But I'm determined to get that page, if not complete, mostly complete. So that is it for the actual whips. Next is my new plans. So Juliet Colors and Emily Art Studios and myself and Jenna and Evla, the Coloring Mermaid, we all are in a group of for working towards our 25 for 25 books. And we kind of all pick a book and work through where we have a few books that we're working on for the quarter. And so this was a book that Evelyn had chosen. And I had tagged this winter one to do in January or February, but now that it is March, I'm not going to do this page. It's officially too far gone. So I have no idea what page I will do. I'm going to zoom you out just a touch. Yeah, I'm not sure what page. Definitely won't do a double page spread, I could tell you that. That's my one page that I have completed in it. I know Emily had done the snakes page because Fiction Kitten had a birthday snakes hashtag. But I'm not... Yeah, I'm not sure. I can tell you, though, I will do something that I think will be a bit more easy and manageable. Like, I could see something like this where I could base it with ink tints and then just kind of throw in some shading, and it could be kind of almost a little bit monochromatic, maybe. In fact, I might even just tag that. I kind of like that anyway. That's kind of my thought, is that it will be something that's a little bit more on the easy to get done quickly side without it looking rushed. I don't want it to look rushed. Yeah, this is the page that Emily had done, which is a really great page and another great option. I would just have to make sure that it was quite a different color palette to what Emily chose, but because it's You're the Snake, I like the idea anyway, and I'm confident that I could choose a different color palette anyway. So this book I'm quite determined, because it was one of our quarter one picks. I really do want to get my page completed before the end of March, And if I do one of those pages tagged, I'm confident that I can finish it. My other thought was, I thought if I'm really feeling pressured, I might literally do the cover title page, which I'm going to tag. So that is Circle of Life by Melpomene Chatsopanigutu. And so next is The Cosmic Slumber Tarot Coloring Book by Tilly Walden, which is my other project book with Jenna the Fiction Kitten. And I think Juliet might consider joining us on this one. So I did actually complete my February page in this one. And I'm on the fence for which one to do. But I think we're doing the Six of Pentacles for March. And so these ones, I definitely like using super tips in them. And then sometimes when there's clouds, I've been using the Gonzai Tambi granulating watercolors, and they're really fun in it. So yeah, this page looks like a good one for March anyway. It does kind of look springy, and I like that. So that is The Cosmic Slumber Tarot Coloring Book by Tilly Walden. Next, we have the Matchstick Mouse through the through the hashtags. Matchstick Mouse through the seasons hashtag that I host, and we are moving on to a springtime coloring book for March, and YouTube and Instagram agreed on voting for this little frog bath page, which is so adorable, and I love it. So that all of those ones that are kind of easy, I think, should be no problem. So next is this one that's been a planned buddy color with Jenna the Fiction Kitten for ages, and they finished theirs. I say finally, they finished theirs and I haven't. And so this owl, I have a plan for it. I think I might even base it in something water soluble, just to base it with the color, and then just shade with the colored pencil. I think I want to practice more with the water-based and base, like using them for basing anyway. So not a water-based marker. I mean like either ink tints or maybe neo colors. I'll have to practice how shading with the neo colors works, because I don't think this would suit having a really watercolory look to it. So I definitely want a good amount of pencil shading. So I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the ink tints for basing this. So yeah, ink tints or just plain watercolor, because I only have 24 set of ink tints and they're all kind of dark. And so maybe just the watercolor pencils might be better to get the lighter shades that I'm looking for. Anyway, that's another page. And then Reptiloids is another for that group with Juliet, Evelette, Emily, and Jenna. This is a year-long project book, and I didn't do a page in February. I just did my March page, which was my elf page, and you guys saw. So I would like to get this page done in March. I feel like all of these ones, I can kind of knock it out in a night, so I think that's doable. And yeah, so that's Reptiloids by Vassal Seiko. And so then I have joined a few cozy coloring groups, and I have some plans. So there's the mood board group, and I am planning for the mood board page to do this page for the themed mood board. Is basically every 2 weeks. So there will be 2 mood boards for March. But so far I only have this one that let's do like at the halfway point of March. So I'm going to do that one. And then there's a movie group, and we're doing Midsommar for the movie. And I thought this was a cute page for the movie. Both of these pages are from Etsy from, I think her name is Tiger Lily, I believe. And then this one I plan to do as there's a monochromatic challenge group. Well, it's a challenge group, and I don't know how often they do it because I just joined. And so the one challenge is monochromatic currently. And so I'm going to do this in monochromatic, and I'm just kind of seeing it in all pinks. I just think it would look really cute. So that's that one. And then there is a horror group, and horror movies specifically. And so the current movie is Saw. And so there's actually a Saw page in this, lights, camera, pause. I forget who it's by. Milo Nero. This one here is literally from the movie Saw. And so I think that's obviously perfect to do for that movie. So I'm going to tag that. I feel like all of the ones that I can do with alcohol marker should be no problem. And if I have any time at the end, I would love to do a page out of Boule de Poil by Diane DeFore. And I had tagged the winter pages, and I am not going to do a winter page. Jamie had asked me to do this page as a loose buddy color, but I'm not going to be able to get to that either. I'm going to keep the tag in there. I might actually do that as a page in March if I do get to it. Otherwise, I would go to the spring section and do a page in the spring section. We'll see. That's if I have a chance to get to this with all of my other things. And the other thing is I'm really, really into portraits, since I did that little girl portrait in January for Amy Ward Arts Fabulous Freebies hashtag. And so I would love to I really want to make this project book. So I would love to do something out of this. If I did this as a project book, it would be like 1 page a quarter. I wouldn't be able to do more than that because they're detailed and they'll take time. But I could try. For a page a quarter or something like that. Anyway, I might try to do one of these pages, or I have a lot of PDF PDF portraits. And actually, speaking of, I do have, I need to find them. I think it's Kate, C-A-I-T, that I assume is short for Caitlin, and I don't remember her Instagram handle, but I'll put it up. But she is working through the Coco Wyo Find Your Aesthetic coloring book, and her goal is to finish it for the end of the year. So she kind of put out for buddy colors on certain pages, and I said I wanted to join her on these pages. So there is this one, which I think is really cool. I like him because he reminds me of my partner, so that's what I liked. And then this one, and I like her just because she's kind of, it looks like she's into kind of spooky magic things, and I don't know, I like her. I like her vibe. I vibe with her vibe. And then this one because she's bookish, and I love bookish things too. So, and her book is space here, which I love. So if got a hankering for a portrait, I might get started on one of these as well, because I adore all 3 of these pages. they're the only pages that I've printed out of the book because those are the ones that I have the commitment to. So if I'm gonna do any of these pages, I want to get these ones done. So it actually would be smart, since like I have till the end of the year to do these, but we know how things can stack up if we just leave them. So maybe just getting a start on one of them would be a good idea. And at the moment, I'm leaning towards one of the girls. Maybe this one. I mean, she would be kind of neat to do for Space Timber as well, though, because she's got little moons on her shirt and stars in her hair. But she's actually reading a space book. And she's got stars in her background. And then there's him. I'm going to do him first. I don't know. I'm not comfortable doing the tattoos on the skin. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'd like to try to maybe get a start in one of them. So that is it. That is my massive amount of plans for the month of March. And obviously, as usual, I'm not putting pressure on myself to get everything done. But I would want to at least finish all of my whips and get some new ones done. The ones that are my Q1 group pages for the 25 for 25 with Emily and Juliet and Evelyn and Jenna are not naturally, but they're a little bit more prioritized. I would like to get the buddies done. The cozy groups, if I don't get to one of them, it's not a big deal. The only one is the mood board one, that if the mood board group is full. So if you can't get to it, she asks that you leave the group to make space for other people, because there's a waiting list for it. And so so I want to be able to get that page done for sure. The other ones we'll see what gets done. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for sharing your time with me. And I know I have been kind of absent lately, and I'm going to do a color and chat again shortly, maybe even after this video, depending on how the dogs behave, because there's one scratching at the door. And kind of explain, shared life update kind of thing. And you might actually see that video before this one, so we'll see how it goes. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and thanks for sharing your time with me. And we'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves out there. Bye-bye.